Hi. So, are you the super mom who wants to have it all? Like the superwoman who wants to have time for what you love? You want to succeed with your career or in your business while having happy, happy and loved kids and knowing that you're the best mom they could ever wish for and having a blossoming relationship with your spouse. And all of that, doing and having all of that while you're abroad. So too far away from your family who could support, who could understand at least what you're going through. So how do you do that without burning out? Like, unfortunately, most of the women that I work with and what I used to do, the mistake was that when it gets tough, we start pushing harder. When we have less time to do something, we try to do it faster, better, more effective. And unfortunately, the effect it just has on us is that we start burning out. So how to do that, where to start without wasting months in learning productivity techniques or better time management, just getting better organized, or parenting tips on how to make your kids comply and be less triggering for you. That's a waste of time, and you've already figured it out. So these things I don't have to tell you about. You probably know that that's not where it starts. So where does it start? So if this is you and if that's something you're struggling with, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Elena Gomez Rodriguez. I'm a trauma-informed mental fitness coach for expat women, because that's something I went through and it's something I needed to discover, and that's what I'm helping women with now. And so you're in the best place, because we are going to talk about where to start. Where to start, if not those productivity tips, if not all of those time management tips and all of the expat advice. So where? So I want to share with you because I've been running a Corporate Expat Mom Summit in the last week. And I've met and interviewed there 15 different experts in all areas of our crazy expat women lives. So we talked about career and starting business abroad and how to help your kids with the transition, and what else? Like everything around expats. And there were so many great insights. But even though we were all coming from different angles with all of the speakers, we all agreed on one thing. And what's that thing? So that's what I want to share with you today. And by the way, if you still want to sign up for the summit, I'm going to share the link with you afterwards, because it's not over yet. We are having a 5-day replay starting tomorrow, so you can still watch all of the interviews for free for the next 5 days. So I'm going to give you a link in the comments so that you can sign up, okay? So what is that one thing that we all agreed on where it starts? The challenge is really that all the moms that come to us, and because we are all expats, all of the speakers on the summit, we started there as well ourselves. It's easy to focus and get stuck or feel stuck when you focus around outside. It is tough to live abroad, and you have all the challenges like cultural differences, language barriers, even a trip to a grocery store during the first weeks. It's an adventure on its own, like a trip for half a day to figure it out how to get there, what to buy. There are so many things that you are out of control about, and so many objective challenges and obstacles to overcome. But by focusing on those things around and feeling stuck and feeling like a victim of it, which is where I was for so many months and years, especially after I became a mom, by focusing on the outside, you're giving your power away. Because you're basically saying, like, throwing hands in the air, this is tough and nobody understands. My people back home don't understand. They think I'm living the dream. They have no idea how hard it is. And I'm stuck and I'm like, poor me. And where do I even begin? And I'm exhausted and I'm burnt out because I have to do this all by myself. My husband is working. He has enough on his plate. And like, I have to take care of everything else. So by focusing on the outside, you're giving your power away. And this is actually the key where it starts, because it starts with you. This is where you need to start. Not with some techniques, not with some tips on how to manage and control the world around you, but how to manage what's going on here. That's where it begins. And I'm going to share with you on an example, like one example that I really liked lately. Imagine somebody who's planning a hike to Himalayas. Just entertain me for a while. Think about that. If you would decide to go for a hike in Himalayas, what kind of preparation would you have to do? Like, could you just get up from your chair and go and start hiking for those days and weeks? Of course not. Like, you would need months of planning and preparation, not just for the expedition, but also for your muscles, right? Physical preparation, muscle building, so that your muscles and your body can stand the load of walking like for days with a heavy load and physically straining environment. Your muscles would need to get used to that load, and that they would need to build that stamina. Now, what does that have to do with you as an expat mom who wants to have it all? Everything. You are climbing your personal Himalayas every day, aren't you? 24/7, sometimes even during the night. You can't even sleep at night if your kids are sick and they are waking up every 2 hours, and then you end up sleeping in their bed and they kick you in the face every 5 minutes when they toss and turn. Like, this is your Himalayas 24/7. But have you done your preparation? Did you do your fitness? And for the real Himalayas, you need like physical fitness for your muscles. But did you do your mental fitness for your mental muscles to prepare for this load? No. And now you think that I'm crazy. Like, mental fitness? What? Yes, you don't have physical muscles in your brain, but you do have neural pathways. They fire together. And if you're not growing your mental muscles in your head, what happens is that you often get stuck to that side of your brain that tells you like why things are not possible. You get triggered and you stay triggered. You stay down in your negative emotions, feeling like things are happening to you, nothing you can do about it. Like, that's what happens when your mental muscles are not strong. Now compare that to a situation when you are feeling okay. Like, nothing is triggering you. Life is smooth sailing. You have access to your, what we call in mental fitness, your sage. Like, you have clarity about what's important. You have access to good decision making. Like, what a difference that makes. Now, the mental muscles is actually your ability to switch between the two. Is to recover from feeling stressed or triggered by somebody and access your sage again. Your calm, Jedi, Zen mode, however you call it. Another example. Have you ever received a really triggering email? Somebody made you so mad. And you felt like, I want to reply right now. And you write an email and you send it. And then the moment you send it, or like 5 minutes later, you're like, oh, I overreacted a little bit. Well, I was right, of course, to just give it to them. But you regret it. Like, in the heat of the moment, it seemed the best thing to do, the best decision. It feels so great to write it down everything. But then when you cool down and when your sage got to talk to you again, you were like, I feel a little bit ashamed. Or another classic situation, yelling at your kids when they don't put away their toys. You tell them something 3 times to go and brush their teeth. They ignore you. They keep playing. They keep laughing. And then you just lose it. Full-blown mommy tantrum. How often have you felt guilty or like ashamed the day after or in the evening? Like, that was not necessary. You know better ways how to get them to cooperate, but you just couldn't help it. So this is what those muscles in your brain are doing. Like, they are not strong enough to be able to shift in the moment of the heat when you get triggered to your sage. You stay on that side, on that trigger side. This is what mental fitness does. So it builds your muscle so that you can shift from the stress and you can access your sage. Because when you cool down, you have access to much smarter decisions. You suddenly can start feeling possibilities and other opportunities, more effective ways of doing things that you didn't see before. And I'm sure you can think of examples in the past. So my personal example, as a workaholic, hyperachiever, perfectionist, ambitious woman, expat woman, even before I had my daughter, like my amplitude of emotions and of being triggered, like it was all over the place. Like I was positive. I would consider to be like a positive girl and happy and seeing the bright side of everything. But when I got triggered, I stayed low for a long time. It stayed with me, like the resentment or unfairness, injustice, criticism. Like I was staying low. When I became mom, it was even worse. Like add up to that the sleepless, tired zombie, unfulfilled. Like it was even worse. I was down. Well, the mental fitness, the more your muscles get stronger, you start getting higher and the amplitude is shorter. There's not much difference between you getting triggered and you feeling great, because you're not, even if you get triggered, you bounce back much faster. You can call it resilience as well. That's what you build. That's what those mental muscles are about. So is that something that you would like to learn more about? Is that something you're interested in? Is it something you feel you need right now? Some tools, or like how even without spending hours in meditation? Because this is what I can give you, much more flexibility and much more effective ways on how to practice your muscles to switch to your stage, to recover from being triggered, recover from burning out and being stressed, and have access to that smarter part of your brain that has more clarity and that can navigate you to having it all without burning out. So if that's something you would like to explore with me, then I have an invitation for you. I'm doing a mental fitness mini class next week, Thursday at 9 p.m. my Paris time here. It will be live and recorded, because I know that, especially talking to you, a busy professional mom, you might be at work at that time. So there will be a recording for you to watch for a few days so you can register. I'll post the link in the comments, so look for it there. And if you would like to let me know your story, your expat supermom story, then I'll be happy to hear about it. You can send me an email and we can get in touch, especially if there's something you would like to help with. Okay, so that's it, what I had for you today. Share in the comments what resonated with you. What are your ways, your positive ways of how to get out of being triggered and not stay there for too long, how to recover faster? Share your ways. I know sometimes it's not comfortable getting out of your shell and your like anonymity on social media, but please know that it can help and inspire others, and it can make them feel understood, because they will know they are not alone. We see so much of it in the expatriate summit that we are doing right now. Women even who are introverted and who felt like, oh, like this is silly to share, or I feel ashamed, they felt so inspired watching the interviews, connecting with other women that we have in the group who also like signed up to attend the summit. There is a power in community, there's power in sharing. So if it's you sitting there right now alone feeling like, where do I go from here? I feel stuck. Know that you're not alone and there's help all around you. All it takes is just to decide to take the action. And if that action is to get in touch with me, sign up for the class, or look for somebody else, look for some other expert. If my energy doesn't resonate with you, it's okay. I'm not for everybody. But look for help. There is help and you could get it and you should get it. You deserve it. You're doing great. So I would like to add with that, if you're listening all the way until here, it means you are committed. You are committed to finding ways to make it work, because you know that if you're not okay, your family is not okay. It has impact on your kids and you're fed up with it. You're done. You're ready to start taking different actions, start doing things differently, looking for solutions. So if that's you, I look forward to seeing you next week, Thursday, in the mini class. Take care. Bye.